Welcome back, everyone, to the Light Novel Fiends podcast. This is episode 20,
Big 2-0.
Biggest Gamer.
Adamar.
And today, we're going to be talking about one of our favorite novels now.
It's true. Very true.
Coiling Dragon. And, last time we talked about it in the recommendation, we're like, we read it. We read it.
We finished the book.
And
we were supposed to read 200 chapters.
Yeah,
we went a little hard.
But, you know what? It's perfect because for our 20th episode, I think it's a perfect novel to talk about.
Because honestly, like 10 out, I want to give it a 10 out, 9.7 out of 10, guys. Like, besides the very small grievances, which I feel like are kind of big grievances, but it doesn't take away from the story.
I give it a 9.2.
Okay, I give it a 9.7. It was really good, except that one grievance that I'm talking about that kind of messed up the ending a bit, but I don't know. The author did a good job going around it. But all right, what do you want to start with?
Let's see. So,
you want me to pick a time?
Yeah. Or no, click remind me later. Sorry. All right. Okay, so how about we start off for what happened right after 200?
So right after 200, real quick, guys. Spoilers.
Obviously, because we're talking about the whole book.
Yeah. The first 200, we tried very hard not to say anything, at all. Here we're telling everything and all of it. We're just talking.
And let me tell you, that was hard because 200 went quick.
For those 200 went quick, and so much stuff happened in those 200. Guys, I want you to let us know how good of a job we did at not spoiling if you read the book, because I feel like we did pretty good at going around the main topics.
Linley got hoed.
Oh, 3 times within 20 chapters.
Then the girl Alice fell in love with got hoed.
I liked it though.
She didn't fall in love with him. She just chose him because her family was in tatters and
I don't know, bro. I felt like she kind of
well, they were childhood friends.
Yeah.
So there is some affection there, but I don't think it was the love that her and Linley had.
Yeah, I think she gave up love for money.
Yeah.
But I think it wasn't like she was forced for the money. She picked the money.
Yeah, that's true. She picked it. She could have. I actually, that's one of my grievances with the story, was because Linley wasn't a bum.
No,
he was literally
he's that guy.
Well, it's if you look at it, she was she picked the other guy for status. And I was but Linley had everyone was talking about his prospects. One, he goes to the most prestigious school in the entire continent.
Yep.
Which automatically means he's gonna be a famous figure. He's gonna have
at the very least
royalty.
He'd hit 6 stage mages.
Yeah.
Which then and there is pretty high up. You're not a bum.
So I was thinking, she literally wasn't in any trouble. There was no suffering point picking Linley. And
I think at the moment it was prospects versus cash now. Because every time she had a problem, I think his name's Kaplan.
Yeah.
The guy.
Oh yeah, he played dirty.
Oh, he was dirty, bro. But every time he'd be here's some money.
Every time she had issues, he went up to her and he literally brainwashed her.
Bailed her out every time. Every time you have a problem, I'll be your solution.
So he brainwashed her, but she also was, obviously she's still huge. Like I said, the blame is 50-50 because she didn't go to Linley for any problems, right?
Yeah.
Which I think that was a big issue. It was Linley could have had he literally could have just gone and been taken out. He could have taken out a loan, right? Because for his future projects, people would have lent him
tons of money.
They would have been oh, get a favor from Linley.
Who was his big bro? Yule, or how do you say it? Is the first brother the one that's the Dawson conglomerate?
Oh yeah, from the conglomerate.
What's his name? Yule, or
I know it's YU, but I don't remember what else it is.
I can't remember either. But his big bro from the Dawson conglomerate, first bro, he is literally offered him tons of money before he became a 7th tier mage. I remember when he became a 7th tier mage, they offered him 100 million gold. Obviously, before then, he wouldn't have given him that much, but he was still titled the #1 genius with Dixie. That's you're top 2. That's crazy. And you're 15 or something, or 16 at the time.
Yeah, so I never understood. I was so you can't take money from your lover, but you'll take it from your childhood friend, who you then
end up marrying.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, he can do this. I was like, all right, author, you're on some like. First of all, I don't really know how realistic that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because one, I guess if you're dumb.
What? Yeah, I guess
because that's the whole reason why people hate Alice is like that was the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Because it's like his future. Because like I know you said like future prospects versus cash now, but he could have literally used his future prospects to get cash now.
That's true.
Just like, come on, you hoed.
That's true. Especially
you hoed all three of these characters: Linley, Alice, and Kaplan.
Yeah.
Because Kaplan, I can understand. He's in love with Alice. He's been in love with her since childhood, so he used whatever means necessary to get her, and he got her. So I was like, okay. I won't say you're a bad guy, but I'll say you're kind of like douchebag for doing that. But,
yeah, he was. I don't know, definitely douchish, and then like, and the crazy thing is too is when it went down. I think Linley just hit six.
Yep.
6 rank, right?
Yeah.
And so like then and there he just outshone Dixie, and he was like not like the super genius he was when he hit 7th rank, like literally like 2 days later, like 20 days later, because he made the sculpture, but like 6th ranked at like 17 is a crazy accomplishment. And then like literally waited another week and like problem solved. And it was like just right there.
Yeah. And then she hoed even more by just not seeing him. She just dipped on him. I was like,
literally,
oh my god.
I was so upset at that. She stopped seeing him for like 4 months, I think.
I think it was longer than that.
Was it longer?
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think it was longer than 4 months.
And then he finally was like recorded everything for. That was so cute, bro. Yeah. He got the memory disc and he put all his like memorable moments for the last month or 2 months, and he was gonna bring it all the way to her school to be like, oh, because it's been hard to contact each other, like so you always have something.
Yeah.
And she's just like, and he shows up and he sees them together, bro. That was hurt. That hurt. I felt bad.
Yeah. I was like, damn.
I'm surprised Linley didn't go on a blood rage. Like I thought he was gonna kill him, a little bit. Yeah. Like a little bit.
But I think it was nice that author like gave him like he had it's like a little bit of maturity, but also a little bit of like heartbreak, because like he was mature enough to like, okay, he let it go.
Yeah.
But also is like heartbreak is like he just didn't believe in love anymore.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. It was
he didn't believe.
He didn't believe. Yeah, he didn't believe in love, but he tucked that thing deep, bro. Delia, how do you say Delia or Delia? Delia. All right, Delia. Delia had a, bro.
Hard. She worked hard.
That is patience. Like I don't think anybody could be patient like that.
Oh, cause she loved.
That was like unrealistic patience, bro. Was she different, that man? That was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, she waited since they met as like 8 years old, and she liked them since like then, somewhat like child, like you know. And then like when she found out like he had a girlfriend, she was like kind of devastated. Remember there was like that scene, and then after like they break up, like and his dad died and everything, he gives her a kiss, or she gives him a kiss like forcefully, and then she waits like 10 years before seeing him again, and like the whole time she's like, that's my guy. That's my man.
Then she had to wait a little bit longer. Obviously, they were like together a bit, and I was like, damn.
I like that love story though.
No, it was cool.
Yeah,
I was like, because she got what she wanted in the end.
She did,
and she was together with him forever. I was like,
sheesh. Especially the very ending when she came from her family right after he started his
family was holy.
Yeah, right after he started his duchy. And she showed up, and he was like, I don't think he was gonna like kind of propose there and then. He was gonna take his time. And then she was like, she told him like all that she did for him.
Yeah.
Like not like, oh, like woo me, but like just like letting him know like, oh, I broke off ties with my family because they were like they were against this.
Yeah.
And he was like, I gotta do it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because he was scared.
That was one of the
reasons why he wanted to take his time, because he was scared. Because he didn't know. He was like, does she really love me? But then she was like, yes, I literally did all this. He was like, all right, fine.
My dad and mom, we almost like, we're not talking right now.
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Like, her family was holy.
Her family was, I'm not gonna lie, they were getting me mad, bro.
No,
because
I was pissed.
They just kept like and the requirements weren't like, oh, he needs to do this. There were heavy requirements. Start a kingdom, bro. Like when you have your own kingdom,
you can marry your daughter. I was like, your daughter's not worth that much.
Yeah, bro. As soon as he starts a kingdom, they're like, but hold up, this guy has a better kingdom. Now he has to do more, and it's like, stop.
Yeah,
stop. Like you literally need him to be like the overlord of the world before you accepted it, and that's basically what happened.
The author hold there too, because it didn't make sense why they were doing that. Because like what she was saying, she was like, "Oh, they love me since birth. They always doted on me." And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Why did they switch up all of a sudden?" But I think
it kind of makes sense.
Part of it can be explained when the emperor himself really went up to the family and was like, "Yeah, I want to marry your daughter."
And especially, I think they did a pretty good job at explaining it, because they were like, they made a valid point, like, oh, we don't want you liking Linley if he's part of like the opposite side, like, and they're high-ranking members of nobility, so it could look like they'll be like rebellious.
Yeah,
I understood that. You know, I was like, that's a valid point. And then the emperor himself wants your daughter, and it's like, that's another good.
I mean, point. That's tough to like.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, no, emperor.
But like, I just didn't. I think even in that situation, they should have been clear with her on like what was up. They shouldn't have just kept like moving the goalposts. Yeah. That was like.
But I think that's like classic parenting for like some parents, where they're just like, they're not honest with their kids.
Yeah.
And then the miscommunication turns into a misunderstanding that turns into a big fight.
Yeah.
That like just kind of
blows up.
Yeah, like puts a strain on the relationship. It's like, why don't y'all talk about it and work it out?
Yep. Parents don't like to talk.
No.
They're like, we're parents. That's enough reason. But yeah, bro, Delia I love that part. Bro, Baby was like so important to the story.
Oh,
and it was crazy how he was literally like a chapter, like maybe a chapter like 20 edition. It was very early on he got added.
Actually, yeah. So the author did a good job of keeping him
a secret,
and secret, but also relevant throughout the story.
Yeah.
And then did a good job. I like that Delia was around the whole time. I would have hated if he was like, "All right, I'm gonna go on an adventure. You're gonna stay home on the continent, and I'll be back in 1,000 years." I'd have been so mad.
I love that she came with him, bro. I wasn't expecting that.
They got to experience the adventure. I feel like that's the first time I've seen that in like a junction. Usually they leave.
They always leave, bro. And then like the only reason they come back is one, they finish, or they hit a huge milestone, or two, somebody's using his wife against him. Yeah. You know? And it like, I was like, they actually went together. And like she became a fiend too. And like she was actually pretty important in some scenarios. I was like, this is like never been seen before. I really liked it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I am glad that so then they started leaving her behind, but he had clones, so it wasn't like technically leaving.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so the author got around it like that as well. And I was like, that's kind of cool. So you had clones.
Yeah.
So I think the cultivation in this novel, it was great up until
the very, 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 very end.
We were talking about this when we finished the novel. We were like,
Sovereign, bro.
Sovereign Sparks, bro.
Oh my god.
I was like, no way. We have to wait for one of these dumbass sovereigns to die.
72 of them, right? That's or 49.
No, it's like 77. It's in the 70s.
I thought it was either 49 or 77. I don't remember. Cause there's 7 elements, and then 4 edicts, right? Is that how it is?
Yeah.
So that's 11 times 7, 77. Yeah, 77.
Yeah.
Okay. First I want to say, I actually like the spark system besides the sovereign spark.
Yeah, me too.
Right? Like, I think it's pretty good that, like, you kill somebody, you get their demigod spark, you can give it to somebody else, they become a demigod. Like, I thought that's, like, I like that idea. You know, I like that concept.
And I like that it's, like, it was they had 2 systems where it's like, okay, if you do a spark, you're kind of hoed, you won't be that strong.
Yeah.
And then there's like, okay, you have to do it naturally and you become super strong.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that a lot too.
So it was like, if he just has to spark up, I'm gonna be hot.
Yeah. And then but the fact that and bro, we were talking about it. They were talking about sovereigns so much, right? And they were like, it was the end of the book is when he becomes a sovereign, right? And the last like 50 chapters were like, because he's only a sovereign for like 30 chapters, and then the book ends. And so like right before he becomes a sovereign, like we knew he was about to become a sovereign because it's like that was just the next step in the book. He's already like ultimate god form, like compared to everybody else. So it's like, how do you become like a sovereign? Like we were waiting for so long for like to find out how, and then when we found out how, I was like, bro, this sucks.
Yeah, so you were originally saying, you were hoping for another way to come up. You were like, okay, this is the way for the normal people, but the protagonist is gonna come up with his own way.
Yeah,
and then you're like, but it never happened.
It never. Yeah, actually, sorry. Wait. As soon as he turned into a high god, that's when I was like, all right, so we're gonna find out how he can become a sovereign, right? No, no, never, guys. They literally never. The only way you can become a high god or a sovereign is to get a sovereign spark, and literally, it is actually impossible for a paragon, like for a high god paragon, even, which is the highest strength of a high god, besides a super mutated Linley. And even super mutated Linley could not fight a sovereign. So it is actually impossible to become a sovereign unless like God graces you. And that is dumb. That's so dumb, bro. Like literally, like how did like what's his name? Starts Bebe's grandpa Baruch. He literally just got like a sovereign spark. Like
he got 4.
Yeah, God just graced him.
Yeah, no, that's literally what happened. Yeah. He was like. He was literally it's like the Oreo stalking
the cicada.
Yeah, or whatever. That thing. I was like, so what happened was, Orloff's brother. What is his name?
Starts with an L. And he's the sovereign of light. Augusta. Yeah, sovereign of light. Augusta.
So Augusta,
chief sovereign of light.
So he killed, Linley's ancestors, which was the Azure dragon, the white tiger, the vermilion bird, and the black tortoise. Yeah. He killed them 4. And then Baruch, he saw it happening in the void, or I don't know if it's the void, but it's like the space between
the chaos. The void.
It's like the space between each of the realms.
Chaotic space.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. So he was watching the fight from the Yulon continent. He was like, "Oh, this is something interesting," and so the fight between Augusta and the 4 Divine Beast Sovereigns.
Yeah, the Divine Beast Sovereigns. Yeah,
was pretty close. Divine Beast Sovereigns obviously lost. Augusta, he was tired. He was like, "I got him," and then Baruch was like, "Yoink!" like Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and he grabbed them up, and obviously, so there's a rule that says sovereigns cannot enter lower level lands unless they were born in that land and they became. I think they had to become a high god in that land or something.
No, I think you just have to be born in that land.
Okay, so so he couldn't enter, and it was a rule set by the high gods, the over gods, that said if you try to do this, we'll kill you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he couldn't do it, and then Baruch had 4 sovereign sparks. He fused up with wind.
Yeah. Yes. And then he gave the fire one to
Blue Fire.
Blue Fire.
Sick character.
Super cool. And then
he gave the
other 2 to Linley.
Yeah. Because Linley was a 4 elemental
soul mutation.
Yeah. Because so he was extremely attuned to earth
and wind.
Fire was meh. And then because of his ancestry, his bloodline, he was also attuned to water when he got baptized
in the ancestral dragon baptism.
Yeah, so he essentially, it was like 3 exceptionals and 1 average.
Yeah. And bro, that's you should never write a story like that, bro. That the only way to get to peak power is like the grace of God. Just is like that destroys the whole purpose of like gaining power.
So what I originally thought was gonna happen, because he literally set it up for, he had the groundwork to become a sovereign in another way.
What do you mean?
So you know how he said when you become a paragon, you
get a will.
You gain will.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so if Linley becomes a paragon in 4 elements, wouldn't his will go crazy?
That's actually what I thought he was gonna do too.
And his soul mutated, so it's like an additive. It's like a multiplicative effect on that. So what I originally thought was what was gonna happen was, okay, he mutated, and he becomes a quad, because he didn't become a paragon in any of them.
Not a single one.
He was just a quad mutated soul. So I was like, okay, he's gonna get 4 he's gonna become a quad Paragon. He's gonna get Paragon on all of those because obviously with the strengthening of his soul, his speed sped up like cultivation.
Yeah, but like they literally said by over like 1,000 times.
So I was like, okay, when he levels up, he's gonna go crazy. I was like, his will's gonna be like a sovereign. I was thinking like, cause they had lesser, medium, and high sovereign. So I was like, okay, he's gonna at least be a lesser sovereign.
Yeah.
With the will alone, I was like, oh, this is gonna be sick.
Yep.
But then they never did that, and he had the foundation set up for it. He had it already.
I was very upset about that too, bro.
I was like, oh, he's gonna be the first high god to kill a sovereign. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I actually had the same exact thought process, bro. And it's just like, I can't harp on it enough about how upsetting that last bit was. Because like high god paragons or paragon high gods are like legit like ultimate beings. Yeah. Like they're actually stronger than like 50% of the sovereigns, because
in terms of laws,
yeah,
because a paragon is supposed to have mastered an element to its like fullest extent.
Yeah,
and a bunch of sovereigns weren't paragons. They were just lucky to have been born first.
They literally were lucky. They're just lucky, and the paragons are technically like, without the sovereigns like will, like they would be stronger in a fight. Yeah, and it's just like they're not cuss. Wait, what happened? But yeah, honestly, paragons should have been like more cool, but paragons, honestly, I feel like they were so hold because you hit the peak to find out that there's people better than you, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, and the author said that. He was like, "Yeah, that's why paragons don't respect sovereigns." I was like,
I wouldn't respect them either.
Yeah, me neither. Like, why? Like, if I knew that like someone was only better than me because they were older than me, I would have been like, "What?"
Yeah, and you can't change that. That like goes against the whole thing about like challenging the heavens, bro. Yeah. Like, I didn't like it. That's why I can't give the book a 10. If it wasn't for that, I'd give it a 10. Yeah. It's too big of a problem. Way too big of a problem. You can't have the end be like that.
Also, yeah, that's true.
Other than that, it was fantastic.
Yeah. So there was one thing else I didn't like about the cultivation system.
What?
I didn't like how they didn't have all the names of the laws listed out for the elements.
The elements?
Yeah, so you know how like there's like the profound truth of fire, and like all the profound truths. So like for fire, they listed like 3, but then they didn't talk about all the other ones. And for wind, I think they mentioned all 9. But then for I think wind and earth they did.
Yeah. And for water, they definitely didn't.
Yeah, water, I think they only mentioned like 4 or 5. I was like, bro,
give us the names at least.
Yeah, I at least wanted to know what the names were.
Yeah, he kind of got lazy on that.
Yeah, and I thought through blue fire for the fire one we're gonna learn, and then we didn't. I was like, okay.
We learned like 3 of them, like the original law of fire, which all of them have the original laws. Yeah, and then we got explosion.
Yeah, we got essence, explosion, and heat.
Yeah, essence is what it's called. Yeah,
and I was like, well, there's supposed to be 3 more.
Yeah, we just like, honestly, Earth, we very much knew Earth because that was his main path.
Earth was really cool too.
It was very cool, and honestly, I liked when Blue Fire like told us the names of all of the Earth laws, and then I thought we'd get that for everything, but we didn't. And also, I just want to add a quick point that I just realized right now, when Linley became a god in the Earth laws, I think he did it in front of Blue Fire, right? And Blue Fire saw his soul come out, and he was like, "Oh, he has a sword-shaped soul. He can train in the laws of destruction." That never happened. Yeah, that never happened, bro. True. Like that was like a plot point from the very moment he formed his soul, and it looked like a sword. And he was like, "What does this mean?" And I think Baruch was like, "Oh, you'll figure it out later." And then we figure it out later when Blue Fire says it, and I was like, "Oh, this destruction thing is gonna be important." Never. That's literally the shape of his soul, bro. If not, just make it like Earth, because he's like attuned to Earth. I was 9.6. that pissed me off a lot. Cause like that's like a plot point that you just like put in there for nothing, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So another thing, because I want to get out the hose.
Yeah, and then we'll hype it up, guys. I promise. Cause this is great, but we gotta air out the grievances.
Yeah. I think so. They also hold so the Assassin King, I forget his name.
Caesar.
Yeah. They hold his wife.
Yeah,
bro.
They hold his wife.
Because he originally had
Literally.
another girl that he liked.
Ooh, oh yeah, the Ice Princess in in the Yulon continent.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't really know what happened between those.
I think they kind of made it seem like
he was like not worthy of her or something.
I thought my interpretation was that like they liked each other, and he's kind of like just like a fuckboy type of guy, and he like smashes and dashes.
Oh,
and
that's what. And he didn't want. He didn't want. She was someone who deserved like devoting husband.
Yeah, and he was like, I can't provide that. So I don't know if he like crossed the boundary with her, but like she felt like they should have, and he was just like, I'm not gonna be loyal to you.
Mm-hmm. But then obviously when he was with this other girl, I was like, damn, you hold the Ice Princess, and then you hold this girl, and then I was like, the author just not like Caesar?
Yeah,
because I was like, why'd you hold Caesar like that?
And
like,
he was hyped up.
That was karma.
He was hyped up, bro.
Yeah, he was.
Like for the whole.
But yeah, for Caesar, poor guy. So what happened was he met this girl on this island that was part of a clan. Yeah, part of a clan.
One of the top 4 clans.
Yeah, on this island. But basically the number 1 clan, the young master, he wanted
the girl. Took the girl.
And the other family was like, yeah, we're because they were like subordinates to them. So like, yeah, here you go. So she was forced to marry the young master, but she had been having. She'd been with Caesar. Yeah. So the time period with which she was with Caesar and with the young master, I don't know if it was overlapped. I don't want to say overlapped because I don't think she was. I guess it's technically overlapped. Yeah. But it's like until she was married to the other dude, I don't think she was doing it with him.
Yeah, I think so. She was with Caesar and they were doing it together. And then she just got like one day was just like, you're not with this guy. Yeah. And they probably were then like doing it within like a couple months. Yeah. And so then in that time frame, like she thought it was, or the new guy, the young master thought that baby was his, but it wasn't.
It was crazy because what her thought process was, she was like, I was with 2 guys, but so I don't really know whose kid it is because she was originally with Caesar and then she got forced to be with this guy, but she thought it wasn't a big deal. She was like, okay. But then the guy was like, they had a bloodline censor. And I was like, what? That's such a hoe. And then she was like, that's not my kid. And I was like, well, yeah, she was with the other dude before you took it from her. Yeah. Like, how are you going to blame her for that?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I felt so bad for that girl.
Yeah, and then he killed her. I was like, damn, and Caesar now doesn't know to this day.
To this day, and her last line was good though. I liked her last line.
Yeah, she was like, I pretended it was Caesar the whole time. Yeah, I was like, that's tough. And then Linley never avenged them or anything. Never. No, Arthur Hoed big time there.
Linley, I didn't like his decision to just like not tell his friend anything. Like I think his friend should have known the truth. Like your girl's dead. Like maybe not like that.
Also, if you find out your friend's girl died, you gotta avenge that.
Especially because he had the power. I think the reason he didn't is because he kind of like respected that guy, not the young master.
He respected the top guy.
The top guy, but he could have killed the young master.
Yeah, because the top guy's not gonna care.
Yeah. Yeah, Linley. I didn't like how Linley took care of that one at all, but. And I feel like Caesar got disrespected, bro. I felt like he was so important. Like, it wasn't super important, but he was, like, pretty big deal in the Yulon continent. And then it's, like, I'm not saying he had to have a big part in the Inferno realm, but, like, I thought he'd do more, you know? He kind of just became, like, a side character. Yep.
It is what it is. Yep. So, I think for that, other than some decisions... Those are probably like the worst decisions.
Yeah, I'd say. What else? I wouldn't say it was bad, but I'd say that Linley's reactions to deaths were just a slight bit overreacted. I feel like a little bit, a little bit, bro. This man was like, he just next level grief, bro.
I mean, he has trauma, he has PTSD.
Stupid, bro. He was like. I understand like going through it, but like this man was like literally goes insane, like maniacal. Like I feel like somebody chopped his arm off, he wouldn't know. Like, do you agree with that?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like he's just like, he goes like loses his mind completely, like insanity, like literal insanity. And I'm like, bro, relax a little bit. You know, I'm not saying. Oh, did we just get Alexa on here? That's that thing over there.
Yeah, see, I was like, what just happened?
But yeah, I just felt like he went a little too insane in his moments.
Yeah.
I kind of understand. I think the only one that really was like way too much was like when Delia got hurt. You know, when she got hurt.
Yeah. So she didn't get hurt. She almost died.
Yeah. She like.
So what happened was they got ambushed by the 8 great families, because what happened was the 4 divine beast families were the top family or the top clan in the entire universe. Essentially, because like it was 4 sovereigns teamed up, so you don't want to mess with 4 sovereigns teamed up together. And you know their clan. You know how it is with the big. They ain't humble. Yeah, they were arrogant. AF. And they were spread across all the realms. They were literally everywhere. And when he killed the 4 sovereigns, like once you have no sovereigns as
your backers,
everyone came from them. They came for their throats.
They said we're gonna get our get back now.
And there was like 8 great families. So I think the clans beneath the 4 divine beast clans, which I did not get at all.
What do you mean?
They didn't have any sovereigns behind them. They were like emissaries of sovereigns.
Yeah.
But that's not the same thing.
Yeah. I agree. That didn't make much sense.
I didn't like that they were called the 8 great families, because I was like, why do we know nothing about them then? So when I originally saw that, I was like, oh, that's going to be a big thing for the whole rest of the book, because of the 8 great families.
No, it was like that one arc.
No. And then I thought the 4 divine beast clans, I was like, I know you were like, I know the whole world literally turned on you, because literally the whole world came for their necks. But they were more disappointing than I thought when Linley met with them.
They didn't accrue enough. I feel like they weren't as strong as like their foundation like
suggested.
Yeah, like their foundation was crazy strong, but like I feel like they should have had way more peak powers.
Yeah, because they said it was only 10,000 years without their sovereign.
Yeah.
And I feel like, to me, I was like, that is not a long time in this world.
Yeah.
So for them to have lost everything was crazy to me.
That's like, actually, like, I understand the whole world is against you, but like, you guys have some bad management there.
No, 100%. Like, I was like, I don't think the sovereigns entered. I don't think they killed anyone. But they're not. I don't think they're allowed to kill anyone beneath sovereign unless they're actually offended by a specific individual. So this meant that there was only high gods that attacked from all fronts, right? I was like, so you lost most of your high gods retreating to this place. Still, to me, I was like, that still doesn't make sense, because 10,000 years, like, there's no way they murdered all those high gods. Because here's the thing. If they did all that, everyone should have been hurting, because there's no way the 4 divine beast clan with the backup of sovereigns should not be having like crazy amount of high gods. Yeah, even if they're not paragons, they should be close.
They should be.
That's what I thought, because I was like, you have sovereigns.
100%, bro. Especially because like Baruch created like a very strong high god in Bebe with the soul strip thing, right? Like, I'm not saying, and like Baruch's a sovereign himself, so he's like has like a lot of help. But like, you have 4 sovereigns, like you guys should have a couple like super talented people in there, and especially because it wasn't like a small amount of time. Like, y'all have been sovereign. Like,
they also had sovereign might.
They had unlimited sovereign might, like oceans of that thing, and they're just like, they're kind of trash, bro. I'm not gonna lie, they're like. Before Linley got there and before the whole fall, they were probably just like the worst of the worst people, bro. Yeah. Cause like, how are you that trash?
No, that's why I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, maybe if you said like, oh yeah, 1,000,000 years ago, I was like, I would have been understood. But I was like, that was only 10,000 years ago. That was not that long ago.
That didn't make sense.
They should not have been. I mean, you could have been scared of the 8 divine families, but only if they were bigger than I thought they were. The 8 divine families were trash, or 8 great families. I was like, there's no way they were called the 8 great families, because that means you're the 8 great families in the entire universe. Yeah. But why did this seem like just a small debacle?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And also, Linley was wrecking these guys.
Yeah, I think that scale could have been way more massive.
Yeah.
I thought
it was going to be.
Yeah, I thought it was like. I originally was thinking like, is this just like a small branch? But then he said headquarters. I was like, headquarters.
It didn't make sense. Also, in that arc, tell me how you feel about it. I felt like Linley, as a god, like from when he went from god to high god, I felt like the power increase wasn't as big as I thought it would be.
No,
because like as a god, he was killing 7-star fiends, and then like as a high god, like he could fight commanders, but like he still wasn't like dominating 7-star fiends. I was like, there wasn't like really an increase in power. It kind of felt like there was like nothing, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah. All right, where you go?
I just thought. So the gripe I have with it is that the titles that they had didn't match the scale at which the fighting was at.
Yeah.
I thought the fighting scale should have been way bigger than what it was.
I agree.
But I did like the. So it's like moving past that. I did like the fighting between them though.
The 8 families in them.
Yeah. So I like that for the Vine Beast clans. Like there's a sense of urgency. Throughout the like whole clan. We're running out of people.
Yeah.
Like we don't. We're like they're. It's hard for them to give birth to their bloodlines to begin with. And they're just like, we're losing experts left and right. People are dying. And I was like, damn, this kind of going crazy. So I like that because I like in the book you could just feel the dreadfulness of just like one falling from the like top of the
heavens,
and you're just like looking up like and when you look up, people are like stepping on you. That's how bad it was for them.
Well, and they were also incredibly prideful.
No, yeah, they were like, we're not gonna hide. We're going out until every one of us dies.
And like, they did, bro. And they basically did.
I was like, damn, that's why y'all are falling.
Yeah.
Like, y'all need to, like, scheme.
A little bit. They said no scheming, bro.
It was just like, we're just going to long chen this bitch.
But, like, not with long chen power,
yeah, bro. I was like, y'all have the heart, but not the means.
Yeah. Bro, the thing that killed me when they were like, so the 8 families, they send out regular people through, like, set, like, routes, right?
Yeah, to provoke them.
To provoke them. And the four Divine Beast clans did the same thing back, knowing they'd get ambushed and die. They're like, we don't care. Yeah, we got big balls.
I was like,
like bro,
that is
what?
Extreme pride.
That was like so dumb. And I was like, like, you're going out to die. No, you're going out to die. But because you got big balls, you're going to do it? Yes.
Yeah. I was like, okay, something's wrong here.
Yeah. You got to scheme a little bit when you're that low. You know what I'm saying? You gotta scheme a bit. But I guess they're obviously just bad schemers because they never had to. They're just like sovereign.
Yeah. So, I think another interesting thing that I thought that was actually a lot different from real novels was, so the Grand Elder and her children, or her child and grandchild, they betrayed the clan.
I thought it was just her child.
It wasn't her. Was it just her child?
Yeah.
I thought
it was by himself. Remember, she had to kill him?
Yeah, but didn't he have someone else with him?
No, he told his... So, the Grand Elder, the daughter of the Sovereign, she had a son who had another son, right? So, she had a son and a grandson. The son betrayed the clan. And when he was going to do it, he told the grandson, his son, hey, get away, go over here, do some random thing. But he didn't let him in on the secret. Because I think even the grandson was like, yo, you didn't betray them, right? Because he knew that was like a step too far. And like he did. I also hated that whole thing. Because he was like, his reasoning was so like.
It's so BS.
It was such like crazy person.
I was like.
Reasoning. Like, bro, what are you talking about?
They did allude to it, or it's like. So they alluded to a lot of bad personalities within the clan.
Yeah, they did.
Because a lot of when Baruch came up and said, "All right, y'all stop fighting." What the 8 clan guys said, they're like, "Bro, we had to watch as our wives were taken, our kids were beaten, killed right in front of us. We could stand and do nothing." I was like, literally, what are you doing with these cats, bro? Like, get out of here.
100%, bro. I was like, hold up, maybe they kind of deserve it, bro.
So I think, And Baruch was like, yeah, the fall from grace was massive. They're literally reduced to one piece of land in the entire world. But I think he was trying to get the point across of like, anyone in their position would have done the exact same thing because that's just how power goes.
Yeah.
And he was like, they got punished. They lost their sovereigns. They lost, like 90% of their clan. And they lowered their heads. Something that's like the worst humiliation for them. They lowered their heads.
True.
And they said, we're going to turtle up. And I was like, I guess like in the grand scheme of things, you're right. Because there's some things where you're just like, that's not good enough punishment where you think that. But then it's like, to them, it was.
Yeah.
Like they were so gung-ho about like going out of existence rather than lowering their heads. There's like, to them, they would have rather like just not like exist anymore. But they lowered their heads. So when they lowered their heads and put down their pride, Baruch was like, okay, they've had enough. Because they finally did the worst thing imaginable that could have happened to them. Lower their heads. I was like, okay, Baruch, you're speaking. I was like, I understand that.
Yeah. I kind of liked Baruch's stance on the whole thing. I think he did a good job with that.
Well, Baruch's character was interesting because everyone was saying he's extremely a cold, callousing, like calculating individual, and he's like, why would I care? He's like the type is like, if you're not related to me, like if we're not friends or family, I don't have to like do anything for you. I'm not gonna go out of my way because he said it's like. That's like weakness because like people will take advantage of people like that, which they do.
They do. I think, and you kind of understand it more with the massive amount of people. Like when you think about it, like in like in our terms, like Earth terms, like if you're in a city, you see somebody like hurting, you're probably gonna help, right? But like when you're like when life and death decide on if you help that person or not. And there's also like millions of said people like going through that same process. It's like
I don't know any of them,
and you don't know any of them. And if you help all of them, you'll never do anything but help these people, and like you won't have time for anything else. Like there's people like that, and they're called saints for a reason.
Yeah,
but like not everybody is like that. That's normal.
Not everyone should have to be like that.
Yeah,
people got to learn how to help themselves. That's what he was trying to tell people.
I agree with that, but. I want to say, is there any other grievances you got for the book? I feel like we aired them out.
Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of talking about this. I like the arc outside of that little like piece of like the grandeur of all their titles. The arc was really good.
I thought the arc was really good because I want to hype this novel up now because it deserves a good rating, guys.
Yes.
All right, we did just kind of kill it for like
30 minutes,
probably. Yeah, 30 minutes. But it is a great novel. All right, guys. What's your favorite part of the novel?
Favorite part of the novel? So it's either when they were in the Planar Wars.
That was cool.
When Linley literally mutated, I was like, this is fire. Two, I loved Blue Fire. I feel like Blue Fire, they gave him so many cool moments. Like, whether you're just like, yeah, I'm a badass. Like,
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere.
I thought he was so cool. I thought we were going to find out how to become a sovereign from him.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Oh, you know what, actually?
What?
The Necropolis of the Gods, that arc was sick.
That arc was crazy, bro.
Bro. I think I want to make a game out of that. I think someone should put like a tower or something like that in a game and be like, you gotta go through all these floors to get to the treasure. I was like, that'd be a crazy game.
Tower of God.
That's not a game. that's
kind of Tower of God though.
Yeah, but it's a little different. Right?
A little different, yeah.
It's more like a lot different.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
It has the same concept.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would agree though. Those first 11 floors were so cool.
Yeah, honestly thought like when they were going through, I was like, this is deadly. Like these people are fighting for their lives. I was like, these are some of the strongest people on the continent, and they're looking like ants out here. I was like, damn, Baruch, you're hoeing these guys. You were like, when he was said, I was like, yeah, it's dangerous. Death rate high. The death rate is high. I was like, he's sounded like a little nonchalant about it, but when they went in there, they were like,
they were going through it.
I was like, they're in the mud.
I honestly felt Like, I like the ending when like Baruch told them all. He was like, "Hey, you guys could have gone through the same transformation Linley and Oliver did. You guys just suck. Like, you don't believe in yourself. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, how are you gonna get stronger? Like, you've been stuck at this stage for like 5,000 years. Like, that's like, it makes sense."
Oh, actually, you know what? That was crazy. Because who was the other guy?
Oliver?
No, the other saint, Prime Saint.
Give me some characteristics.
He was at the ice cap.
The light guy?
No, so you know where Oliver went to go get training?
Yeah.
And
Rutherford? Rutherford was like the king of the ice cap.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Because it's the place where Reynolds was at, where he married his daughter.
Yes. Oh, that's the light guy. The light guy's daughter is Reynolds' wife. I forget the light guy's name. I know it starts with a D. I think it's Des. Or Desno.
It is not D.
It starts with a D. Doggard. I can't remember his name. It starts with a D for sure. Maybe not. I'm 50-50 on it.
Honestly, I forget.
But it's the light prime saint. Because the prime saints were the light guy in the village. I think his name is Fane or Faith or Fate.
Fane.
Fane was the war god's disciple. Caesar, but he didn't show up, and he became a deity. And then Rutherford, and then the guy who's like from the tribes of the wilderness people.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about. I forget his name though. He's destruction.
He was the one that came and he started Apocalypse Day.
Yeah.
Dylan, that's his name.
Yeah, I told you it was with a D. Dylan.
No, but Dylan is the Apocalypse guy. The other guy is not with the D.
Oh no, wait, Dylan is the beast guy.
Yes.
No, I'm not talking about Dylan.
What are you talking about?
The destruction guy. He uses. Remember when they fight the Titan, the Rock Titan?
The Rock Titan.
In the Necropolis of the Gods.
Oh yeah.
In like the 6th floor or something. So they're fighting it, and the ice girl uses a free spell, right?
Yeah.
And then the destruction guy, like
that guy. Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
That guy's a prime saint. I don't remember his name though.
He's like an old dude.
Isn't he? Yeah. So it's him, and then there's somebody with a D who's the prime saint of light, and then there's Rutherford, Fane, and I think that's it.
Yeah. So So there's 4 entrances to the Necropolis of the Gods.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the most dangerous one.
4? I thought that was 2.
Isn't there 4?
I don't remember.
I thought they said there was like one in the sea.
I thought there was one in the south and one in the north.
Oh. Oh no, you're right. I think you're right. Yeah,
okay.
There's 2.
Okay.
So they went to the dangerous one this time. Because he was like, yeah. Last time when we went to the other one, we went to what floor did they get to? I think they got to like
6.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, we had to turn back. It's dangerous. And we lost a lot of people. So they went to the hard one, and they made it. Which one did they make it to this time?
They made it to 11.
11?
Yeah, they completed it. Because you can only go up to the 11 floors as a saint.
Oh, that's right. Oh. And I think the part that was crazy was when Linley got stuck in all those
like Annihilator guys or whatever, destruction guys.
Yeah, they were chasing him underground. I actually love the Earth. I think the Earth ability was really cool in this novel because he was just going everywhere. Or I was like, it was world walking.
World walking, yeah.
I was like, that ability was sick.
It was so cool.
He was underground like a mole or something.
He showed out in this in that arc. Like Linley like progressed incredibly in those
he was getting
1,000 years. I think.
Yeah.
Was that 1,000 years?
I think so.
He was vroom, because he went in there as like kind of like a medium to high rank in there, and he came out as a undeniably strongest saint. Like he came in and he came out like completely different person. I
also love that the secrecy of the Necropolis of the Gods showed up at the end of the novel because he kept saying it was like something's calling me.
Yeah, he did say
something's calling me. And I thought the author was gonna forget about it later. I was like, oh, he's gonna hoe us with this.
Yeah.
And then he came back. Baruch was like, oh yeah, your ancestor. I have a spark or his body down there. I was like, damn.
I thought that was cool because it made sense why something was calling him.
Yeah.
You know,
and he came back with
the ancestor. That was really cool. I really liked the Infernal Realm. I really liked the whole system.
Actually, the Infernal Realm was massive.
Like giant. Like
people were like, "Oh yeah, it'll take you like 100 years to get to this spot." I was like, 100 years?
It's very casual.
Or 1,000 years? And I was like, and I actually love that how they made it casual early on, so you just didn't like.
You didn't care like something was 70 years.
They were just like, everyone here is, you know, we're immortal, so like we have infinite time. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then, but the savageness, the viciousness of the Infernal Realm was insanely high.
Yeah. It was like they never did not talk about bandits. Like it didn't matter. Even when Linley was a sovereign, they still got attacked by bandits.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like they actually attacked them. Once they realized there's like a high god on board, they like walk away. But like even as a sovereign, this guy's getting attacked by bandits. Like bandits are literally in every corner of this world. And it was kind of crazy. I like was getting annoyed by bandits. And I like understand. I kind of like that the author made me feel that way, because I could feel like the characters are annoyed by bandits. They're like, bro, everywhere we go, bandits.
Yeah. So another thing I liked was, obviously the fiend system. The fiend system was cool,
really cool,
but it wasn't absolute. And one of the craziest things was when they were on this mission to become a fiend. When that guy that they killed, the clone.
Yeah.
He came out.
Yeah, that was so cool.
I was like, honestly, that was the scariest thing.
Well, so they killed on the fiend mission, not Linley and his crew, but like the biggest, like the 5-star fiends on that crew. Right.
So
you got it?
Like, yeah. So there's a test you take to become a fiend, a 1-star fiend. And so what happens is that there's like some higher level fiends who will take you on the test. So like they have their mission, and then they'll make like a small mission for like the new recruits. And what they did was they were supposed to assassinate this guy at this castle. I think it was like a black castle or something. And they needed to collect like a bunch of like tokens or something, or identifications or something.
Yeah.
And
the moon rings.
Yeah. And so obviously Linley, Baruch, Bebe, Delia. And there was this other girl that they teamed up with temporarily. I thought she was going to become
something more.
Yeah, but then she was like, okay, bye. But yeah, so they killed. So the big bad boss for the whole castle, which was the mission for the 5 stars, they went and killed him. And he said, like, don't kill me. If you kill me, you know, you'll regret it. And he said his name, but no one knew who he was. And they killed him. Because the leader was like, that's for my sister.
No.
I was like, damn. And then they left. They completed the mission. And what happened was the guy, that was a clone. And that was the weak clone of the guy who came out. And he was like, oh, I'm going to go kill this guy. And right before they got to the city, because you can't find the cities is like a safe zone, automatic, because they're run by sovereigns. So no one's going to defy that. He came out and he started killing all these people.
Well, and he did literally created a death game right outside of the city. He's like, all right, if you kill 10 of your friends, I'll let you go. And it's like, it's just instant bloodbath, bro. And it was crazy. I honestly was like, this is a regular fiend level, like this. And that was the first time they left the city, like once they got to the city. And I was like, this place is insane.
Yeah. And he captured the 5-star and made him a slave.
And like the captain, the 7-star fiend of the city, couldn't do a thing.
Nope.
He was like, respect, bro.
Yeah, because one, like, he didn't want to make because that other guy was originally a 7-star fiend. But like, there's no camaraderie between fiends. Like, it's not like a absolute system. It's just like a system that was there for like merit and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was really scary. Like, just reading that, I was like, damn. Like,
I was very scared. I was like,
horrifying.
How are you gonna get anywhere in this world?
Yeah.
And that's why I was very confused, because he got there at such a low power level. I was like, I don't see how he like gets through these things. And I'm not gonna lie, that story from him from that point until he became like
until he got to the to the 4 Divine Beast Clan.
Yeah, like that whole like journey was so cool. Every step of it, like I thought he literally could have died like over 20, 30 times on that journey.
Yeah, and then there's the guy, Bebe's brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was a hoe.
Oh, I hated that guy, bro. What's his name? It starts with an S. Why can I only remember the start of people's names? Oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. I want to call him Sebastian, but it's not Sebastian.
I honestly,
I remember Bebe's wife is Nini or Nini.
Yeah,
Nini.
Nene.
Nene.
It was Any, I think.
Any. I thought it was Nini.
Really?
I think.
Oh no, that was his.
That's her nick. That's Bebe's nickname for her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call her Nini because that's what I remember.
Yeah, but he hid deeply. He hid his true self deeply.
Oh, very.
I thought he was actually a nice guy.
Me too.
I thought he was just a little scheming.
A nice scheming guy, and he ended up being like the ultimate schemer. And I was like,
well, he just ended up being like
the mastermind.
Well, mastermind. It's more like just like a. I don't want to say bad guy, but he's like.
I understand where he was coming from.
Yeah,
I understand his perspective on Linley and how he was like, "You betrayed me," but like he didn't even give him a chance, bro, to like be like, "Bro, it's not me." Like he didn't give him anything, bro. As soon as he thought like something bad happened, he turned on him like that, and I was like, "Ah, you can't be that harsh, bro."
But he was.
He was.
Yeah, and then obviously Bebe was just, like put him in his place
instantly
after like he met up with him.
Yeah.
But I was like. Damn, that was rough.
Another point that I think has to be talked about in this video is Baruch just being an absolute savage the whole novel.
Oh yeah, I love that he was shrouded in mystery up until Linley was strong enough to like learn his identity.
And literally, bro, we didn't know. We knew about Baruch from like chapter, let's say like 50, maybe. Like not his name, but we knew of a guardian in the dark forest, right? And like we learned more and more and more of him.
Yeah, because I didn't think he was a sovereign.
I didn't even think he was a high god. At the original, bro. Originally, when they first talked about him, I thought he was like the strongest saint in the world. And because they just talked, they didn't. You gotta think about it like at the beginning before we even like knew like what saints even really were. Or no, we always knew what saints were, but we didn't know like how strong saints could be in like the spectrum.
Yeah.
Like we didn't really know there was something after. Like obviously we know there would have been.
Because they said he was like one of the 4 strongest on the continent.
But at the time when they first said that, like we didn't even know there was something above saint. I thought he was like what prime saints were.
Well, the thing is, I thought that until they revealed that they were gods, and I was like, okay.
No, for sure then. But that's what I'm saying. Like. As more book came out, I kept increasing his power level. Yeah. And I was never right. I was never right.
So that was the only thing when they revealed the Gebetos prison and they're like, oh yeah, he was putting people in there. I was like, he was putting people in there?
Yeah, then I was like, all right, he's like a strong high god.
Yeah. And then when he killed Astra, that high god, what's his name?
He didn't kill that Astra guy that you're talking about. He killed somebody else.
No, it was the guy that took over the high priest kingdom, remember?
He killed him?
Either him or his son killed him.
I don't remember.
Because I remember his sons hid deeply too.
His sons were very deep. They were gods.
They were gods or they're high gods?
I think they were gods with high god artifacts.
I don't think they had artifacts. I thought they were. Oh, maybe. Because I think they were trying to have. He was trying to get his clones, his sons' original bodies to be paragons.
Yeah.
But like they just, it was too hard for them.
Yeah.
And then it was too hard for Beirut or for Bebe as well. Honestly, all of his sons failed to live up to his expectations.
Yeah, that's true.
None of them became paragons.
Even Bebe, I'm not gonna lie, Bebe just kind of slacked.
They sold him at the end.
Yeah, I like how Bebe was relevant the whole time, even when he was when they were high gods and like he really shouldn't have been a part of those battles, but his ability is so OP that like even
when he ate all their
sparks.
Yeah, I was like, damn,
they're savage.
Sick.
Literally a god eater.
Yeah. Actually, the other sick arc was the Descent of the Gods.
When
all the gods came down. Like when they escaped, like the Gyarados.
Oh, that was yeah.
I was like, damn, they're going crazy.
I really liked how they progressed that, because originally it was like when they came back from the Necropolis of the Gods, it was too light. Like there wasn't nobody left to challenge Linley unless he went to the Inferno Realm, and we could tell he wasn't gonna go yet. So I was like, are we just gonna get him like traveling the world for like 100 chapters? But then like that happened, and I really like that.
Yeah, and they're like, don't fight him. And I love how Baruch was like slowly guiding him, even though he could have just solved it himself.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, Baruch. And then him with Oliver. I loved that Oliver was like a concurrent character throughout the novel. Up until the end, they kind of hoed him.
They did.
But yeah, his strength and his talent was like kind of on par with Linley for up until like he soul mutated. And when they were just out there challenging those other gods, I was like, this is kind of sick.
You know, one thing I gotta say is I felt like they hyped up soul mutates so much, but then like we didn't really hear much about them.
Well, they were supposed to be rare.
But like it sounded like people were like looking for soul mutates.
Well, that one guy was.
Yeah, and then like, and I feel like more people were talking about soul mutates too, and then like,
well, because they're just talking about this like people whose soul mutates like have an abnormal strength.
But then I felt like we didn't really see any like cool soul mutation people.
Yeah, we only saw Oliver, and they kind of hoed him.
Yeah,
they actually
his story was sad.
Yeah, the author, he was really pushing the Infernal Realm's viciousness through the roof narrative.
They did it. I talked to you about this, bro. They did it so like they did it hard to Linley's friends, so that we could see the harshness of it without it affecting Linley.
Yeah,
and I felt so bad for that. Yeah, and I loved it, but I felt so bad for his friends. Yeah, because
Oliver, so he married this girl, had 2 kids with her.
Nope,
they're twins.
Were they twins?
I think they were.
All right, who cares?
But he had 2 kids.
Yeah.
But some obviously, you know how it is with the some like one of the higher powered people saw his wife, was like, oh, beauty, let me get her. Actually, no, that's not what happened.
They were originally together, the higher power guy and the wife, Oliver's wife. But then the wife was like, I think he was being fickle. He was like cheating on her. She didn't like that. She's like, I'm a one. Like, you got to be with just me if you're with me. And he didn't like that. And so she left him.
Yep.
And then she went with Oliver. And the guy was like, oh, you used to be my wife. And now you're going around with some other guy. And she's like, that might be true. But like, I'm not your wife anymore. And I do not want to be your wife anymore.
Yeah. She literally laid down. She was like, stop going out with these other hoes. Or I'm leaving you. And he didn't stop. So she left. And I was like, that's valid.
Very natural.
So she went with Oliver. And they had a happy life. They had 2 kids. And he was like, no. I was like, damn. And he was like trying to tell her, he was like, I changed.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this is the classic. I'm different now. I was like, oh,
yeah. You're funny, bro. I'm different now.
But he was a hoe, because he was like, all right, you come back with me, I'll leave them all alive. And then as soon as she brought him back, or he brought her back. But he literally, like, because he had said like 2 seconds after, he was like, kill them. And I was like, oh, that was you didn't even wait. Yeah. You just waited until she was line of sight.
Out of sight, yeah.
And then he couldn't protect them both, so one of his kids died. And obviously the other kid was traumatized. But he was traumatized in that, like, he was just cold. Like, he just couldn't display his emotions. And so he trained. And then obviously Oliver was coming out. Came to Linley, he was like, but he didn't know how strong Linley was. But then Linley was like, the narrative that, or not narrative, but like the rumor that he was a paragon came out. And he was like, please help me. And then Linley came around. He was like, I got you, bro. I like that. So that was one time Linley did do something right.
Yep.
Came out, beat that guy's ass.
Yeah. Got his wife back.
Yep. I was happy. I was like, at least Oliver didn't get hoed.
Yeah.
Because he didn't deserve to get hoed. I wish they made him stronger, though.
I wish so, too.
Because I liked his rivalry at the beginning when they met in the War God Empire. And they had fought literally to the death.
Yeah.
As saints. I was like, oh, this is sick. Especially because he was in his dragon blood warrior form. Which I think was... Honestly, that doesn't... they went away from that a little bit.
They did.
Or at least they went away from emphasizing its epicness.
Because
that was a huge thing in the beginning. It was like, become a Dragon Blood warrior.
His Dragon Blood warrior helped him a lot throughout the whole book.
Yep.
It was such a cool ability.
I liked it. I also loved it because they called it Dragon Blood. I was like, yes, sir. The Dragon Blood warriors.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Bro, they went... honestly, that Dragon Blood form was so epic every time he used it. Almost. It was just... He was going off.
But I love that Oliver was like, I'm gonna
surpass you.
Yeah, I love that.
And he was honestly pretty like he wasn't like with him for most of the time. He was obviously below him, but like he was comparable.
Yeah.
And I like that he was like not just like some weak guy on the side. Like he kept up.
Yep. And then there's Linley. Actually, another cool thing, Wharton. They hoed him.
Linley's little brother.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Well, because his Dragon Blood form was supposed to be stronger than Linley's.
Yeah.
And then they didn't do much with that.
Then they just powered up Linley.
Yeah. But then I loved the arc with him, Nina, and Oliver's little brother. They battled for Nina's hand in marriage.
Yeah, I felt so bad when he lost.
Yeah.
That was actually such a cool arc, bro. I remember reading that, and I was like, come on, Wharton. You can't even fight. You can't even win for your love, man. I was sad for him. Because he got beat. He got beat.
Yeah, luckily the War God stepped in.
Yeah.
But I'm also glad that Oliver's little brother wasn't like, like kind of like conniving like Kaplan, just kind of like let it go. Because the reason he wanted her was like she's the best, so I want her. I was like, what the?
You don't have to marry her just because of that.
Yeah, but I think that's also why he was able to let it go.
Yeah, he was like, whatever.
Yeah,
find the next one.
And then Arthur hosed Oliver by killing his little brother with the Descent of the Gods. I was like, okay.
He killed everybody with the Descent of the Gods.
Fane. And I was like, damn, that's tough. But they hoed Yulon Continent a lot. Arthur was like putting.
I'm telling you, bro. Everybody but Linley got hoed.
Yeah.
Like they showed the violence and negativity of the world through Linley's friends.
So what the author did, he was like, I'm gonna hold Linley at the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna so no mom. His dad will die.
Yeah.
He gets heartbroken. And that's about it.
No, and then he gets his like other father figure died.
Oh yeah, Grandpa
Doring. I was sad he couldn't get restored at that.
Yeah, me too. I thought that was sad, but
like,
I understood it.
I understood it, but like,
so he was losing people left and right.
Like the first 200 chapters, so it's an 850 chapter book. The first 200 chapters, he loses people left and right.
Yeah,
like
so they hold him at the beginning, and then they hold his friends and family later. Because then one of the Baruch members died.
The Baruch members.
Yeah, because Cena's the son of of Wharton.
Yeah,
and his kids
get murdered.
Yep, they died, and I was like, what? You murdered his kid, or they murdered one of his kids, I think.
Yeah, they didn't murder any. So none of Linley's kids die.
No,
but all of I think Wharton's grandkids die, and like I felt like it was so underplayed. Linley really didn't care that much. Like he cared, but like not to the extent that I thought.
He went and got revenge.
Yeah, but I don't think he did much else. He was like, I got it from.
Yeah,
I killed him.
I think that's like that mentality of like.
I thought he'd care about his lineage more,
Yeah.
Even if, cause I can understand farther generations, but that's just your grandkids.
No, that's
or
true.
Technically, yeah, that was
his grandkids.
Nieces, right?
Yeah, grandnieces.
No, I thought that he'd care at least up to that line more, but he was just direct line. Like even Cena, who was Wharton's kid, he didn't really care about.
Yeah.
He honestly, he didn't even care about his own kids. If I'm being honest.
Except for the last kid.
Except for the last kid, which I forget his name.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you hold your other kids.
Yeah, he did. But when I felt so bad for the other two kids because when he was raising his new kid in the Inferno realm, he was like, I should have spent more time with my other kids.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah, maybe, bro. He's a bad father.
Yeah, he was.
But, whatever. Yeah, he's a bad father. This is not that big a deal.
It didn't make sense because it was like when he met his ancestors from the Yulon continent, he was so excited.
He was.
He was like, "Oh, my blood's here." Yeah. I was like, "Bro, we're much here, literally direct blood beneath you and Wharton."
I think that's what messed with me, bro, because he was so family oriented, but Not about any like family specific to him. Like everybody above him, like heritage, like, huge.
Yeah.
Everybody after me, who cares?
So I think it was like that. I feel like it was like a kind of like indoctrination from like his father.
Yeah.
Because his father was like honor the ancestors.
Huge.
Honor the ancestors. Get like recognition from the ancestors. So when he finally got it, I think that was like his goal. Like he finally met them and everything. I was like, that's nice.
I agree. That was a little confusing. But necessity. What else? Sovereign. Him becoming a sovereign was pretty cool. I liked when he became. How do you feel about the very ending? Actually, I felt it was a little rushed.
Like when he fought Augusta, or like when he went into the Hongmen Mist,
like
or all of that.
Like when he fights, when he goes to fight Augusta, and then Orlov comes. He fights Orlov. He becomes a super sovereign.
It was rushed.
Hong Mist.
Or felt a little rushed.
I felt like I didn't think it was gonna go like that. Also, quick side note: that random fire sovereign got murked.
Oh yeah.
He was just like, "I need a sovereign spark." You know, I don't like your face, bro. Like,
actually,
I felt so bad.
What was weird was I'm surprised Linley did not have more hatred for Augusta when he found out his mom was like an angel.
Yes, I thought he was. Well, like I think he was. It was understandable he wasn't that mad at Augusta for becoming an angel. Like once he found out like that she's alive, right, in angel form. But then when he found out that she was like brainwashed, like yeah, he went directly to Augusta to fight him. But like I feel like the anger wasn't there, like because his mom was just literally a puppet the whole time, and like he didn't even like he didn't. I don't know. His family situation sometimes was a little confusing. Like, what like triggers him and what doesn't.
Because it's like when Dealey was about to die, like the whole world's ending. But like when he found out his mom was like brainwashed and stuff, he was trying to get her back, but it didn't. I didn't feel the same sense of urgency in the same way.
Yeah, I agree with that completely.
Maybe it's because
he never knew his mom.
Yeah,
she died at like.
He also got to res his father, so that was. I feel like maybe like there's less urgency there, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah,
I like that, and especially I like the system that they had in place.
Yeah, like with
when you die, you go to the netherworld.
Netherworld, that's what it is.
And basically, you're kind of like brainless until you break through to be
a deity.
And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then when he reunited with George Reynolds, no, not Reynolds, Yale.
Yale, yeah. I know it started with a Y. I'm like 2 for 2, guys. The first letters.
That was such a heartwarming moment.
It was, especially because of what Yale went through. Man,
Yale got hoed. But I'm glad Odin, like they tortured that guy.
I love that scene where he got like the nearest 100 homeless people. He was like, "Whoever does the best job, I'll give you gold."
Yeah, best job of like humiliating him. I was like,
those guys went in. Especially the last guy.
Oh my god!
I think the last guy like raped him, right?
I was traumatized.
Yeah, very traumatized. Just to read it, I was like, "Oh god, this is gruesome, bro." But then what he did to Yale was also incredibly gruesome. Like I think he made him like kill all his family, and like then he
mangled him up, and then like he brought his memories back.
Yeah,
and made him like suffer there.
And then he like hanged them from a tree for years, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was sad.
I was like, yeah, Arthur hoed everyone. After he hoed Linley, he hoed everyone else.
He's like, all right, Linley's got I think honestly, Linley ran out of family members to kill. All right, let's start killing all his friends' family. I was like, god damn, bro.
Then Neil got his revenge. Everyone got his revenge. He at least he closed up the knots for revenge for the most part. Other than Caesar, that's literally it. So
guys, I would say the cultivation is really cool till the very end. I think they do a great job with the cultivation. The fighting after like chapter 150, first 150 chapters, the fighting was kind of whack in my opinion. After 150, it gets like exponentially better. In the Inferno realm, the fighting gets so cool.
Oh yeah. So it's like from Necropolis of the Gods, where he's surviving, to the Infernal Realm where he's fighting. I was like, they
were throwing hands.
Yeah. Especially because like obviously his dragon form is a little different now. So he's more of a close combat fighter.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're getting in dangerous situations here. But it definitely felt more exciting hearing about the fights. I think it was also because like they're a higher power level, so like there's
more you can do.
Yeah, and he also knew more laws, so there's like more types of fighting you do, especially with. I'll be honest. I think that my favorite law is Throbbing Pulse of the World. Just the name of it sounds sick. I loved it. And I love the vibrations through it. I feel like there's another novel that had that. Was it?
I don't know. I don't think so.
No, there was another novel that had a main character whose attacks went through like defenses through vibrations.
Give me a little more.
In the same way as vibration. I feel like it was Martial World. I feel like it was Linming. Like with the spear. I'm trying to remember.
Linming with the spear. What did he do with the spear?
Because his main weapon was a spear.
I remember that, but I don't remember him doing vibrational attacks.
I don't know if it was vibrational attacks, but I thought it was in the same way that they described it with Linley. Like, because he had this, because he had endless energy, right? And I thought I was like, okay, he attacks endlessly, and it's kind of like vibration and goes through attacks. Maybe it's something else, but I'm pretty sure there is a novel like that. Because when I read that, I felt deja vu, and I was like, I've never read Coiling Dragon, so I know that's from another novel.
Yeah, I don't remember that. Maybe I haven't read that novel.
Yeah, maybe it's not Martial World, because then you would definitely remember.
Yeah, but I gotta say the fighting was really cool. Cultivation was really cool. One thing that I have to applaud the author for. He did an amazing job at keeping me wanting to go from arc to arc.
Oh, yeah.
You never felt like there was like
the pacing was immaculate.
Yeah. Like it wasn't ever like yes, arcs end, but it blends into like the new arc. Like the transitions are so good that you don't feel like like completed a level onto the next level. It was like an actual adventure.
It's
you
like
know?
we entered level 2 already.
Yeah.
We didn't even know we did.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just you're already there, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and like it was very good. Him leveling up in power, I think they did a great job in that. Like the pacing of his power level.
Yeah, when he went and learned that new ability from Amethyst Mountain,
that was really cool.
Crazy arc, but I love the gravity pull.
Me too.
Yeah, I also love the fact that kind of realizes like even though some people are born with innate abilities, you can teach them to other people.
Yeah,
if you want to.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work. And a very special item.
Yeah.
That only a sovereign can make.
Yep.
So heavy requirements, but possible. I like the will thing for sovereigns.
No, I thought it was I thought the will between paragons and sovereigns was a cool thing. It just wasn't the pathway just wasn't it.
Yeah, there was no pathway. I'm angry. I'm angry about that. There should have been a path besides the spark. But besides the point, I like that. Let's see what else. What else was really cool? Anything else? There's definitely more stuff, but
let's see. So we have the Planar War.
Planar War was really cool. They were throwing hands for
honestly,
years.
That was when I first heard about it, I thought it was gonna be a lot different than what it was.
Me too. I thought it was gonna be like some sort of alien invasion.
Yeah.
But instead of it's like
they're like, okay, it's a battle between all the divine continents, and it's done to reduce the population because everyone's immortal, so you got to reduce the population.
Yep.
And they're like, there's even a rule where it's like if you win 10 in a row, you get an Overgod item. And I was like, what? An Overgod item? And Orloff was the only one that had one. And basically the thing was like, when someone has 9 wins, everyone else teams up against them.
Yeah.
Because there was 2 Planar Wars in the novel. The first one, Linley was in when he was weaker.
Yep.
And him and Baby went in there. They had to kill a bunch of commanders in order to get a wish from a sovereign.
Yeah, to get 4 kills.
Yeah, to revive all of his dead like friends and family. And we met a lot of strong sovereigns, or not sovereigns, high gods and paragons. We met 2 paragons, right? Or 3?
We met 2 in the first one.
We met the rock one, the earth one.
What was the earth one?
He was the guy that was like born with like an innate like body, like strength.
No, he wasn't a paragon though. I know he's talking about.
Close to a he was like a 5 or 6 law guy.
Well, 6 would have been paragon. I think he was
5.
5, and he was like the super strong. Like I remember that guy.
He could fight paragons.
He could fight paragons, yeah, but he was just slow.
Yeah.
And then we met. I think it's Magnus.
Yeah.
Was like a soul guy. I forget what exactly he was.
I don't think it was Paragon. I don't think it was Paragon.
There was a Wind Paragon in the first Plano. Remember the Wind Paragon that went to kill Linley?
Oh yeah, that one.
And then
then there's the kids from the. No, they weren't Paragons, but they were from the Augusta clan.
yeah. And then there was that second guy. I think the Wind guy came. The Wind guy failed to kill him, right? And then the second Paragon came from the Light crew, and he was like a Paragon of Fate, I think.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And which was cool. I wish they delved more into the 4 edicts a little bit more.
Me too. I feel like we should have. Yeah, they didn't do enough of that.
But he was Paragon of Fate.
Mm-hmm.
He almost killed Linley.
Mm-hmm.
Then Linley became a 4-way soul mutate. And then he went and killed the Paragon of Fate.
He didn't kill him.
I pushed him into the
into chaotic space.
I thought that meant that he did die.
So I think it was said that anybody except the Paragon will die in chaotic space. But I think as a Paragon, they're like basically like they have no way to find their way to a planet, so they can mindlessly wander for like trillions of years, which is basically death.
But didn't that mean they would eventually die? Because they rode.
I don't think so.
They said they would eventually die. They just lasted longer than a sovereign, or lasted longer.
I could be wrong. I'm not sure.
Either way, he pushed him in there.
Yeah, but that's a win. He beat him.
That was a dub.
Mm-hmm. And then the second Planet War, he went in there.
No, he put his.
He was watching. Yeah, he was watching.
Because he was a sovereign.
He was a sovereign. Yeah.
And he had emissaries he sent there.
His emissaries were pretty cool.
And that's when we got the hint of the Gula.
The Gula, yep. That went right over my head. You know, honestly, the first hint we should have known when we should have known that Olaf was like Augusta, is that they kept saying like they said it multiple times that he had an overgod artifact to protect the soul, right? But they were like, that makes no sense why he would ever want that, because nobody's soul attack could like kill an overgod or can kill a sovereign, right? And then except the only 4 people were the divine beasts, who their special thing was when they all combined their abilities, they had a soul attack that could kill chief sovereigns. Like, and I never put that together.
What? I didn't put that together either.
I didn't put that together until like I finished the book, and I was like, that's why he got the overgod artifact, to protect Augusta when Augusta goes to kill them. And that's the only reason Augusta was even able to kill the 4 divine beasts, because he had that soul protecting artifact. You didn't put that together till right now?
Nope.
Yeah, bro.
I
realized that. I was like, bro, that's when we should have known. Because they're the only people who had a soul ability that could damage sovereigns.
Wow.
That's why they were the 4 lesser sovereigns, but they treated them as a chief sovereign.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they never explained why their ability could.
Yeah, I don't know. That one wasn't described.
Yeah. But they also revealed why they were killed for their blood.
Their blood, yep.
So they were doing a lot of testing. Baruch did his own testing.
He did.
And they were trying to see if they can, like, steal their abilities and, like, become even stronger.
Which they did succeed in.
But Linley was like, I'm even stronger.
Yep. Linley
he had the same exact thing.
Yep. Linley got the 4-way soul mutation. And he just became Overlord.
I actually loved how hyped up Paragons were in the novel, because when everyone was like said Lily was a Paragon,
it was end all be all.
Yeah, they were just like, "Oh, our clan is saved."
Yeah.
I was like, "But he's not a sovereign." They're like, "It doesn't matter. Yeah. Sovereigns won't lower themselves to our level." I was like, "I guess that makes sense."
Yeah, that was really cool. I really liked the hype for the Paragons, which made me mad that he never became a Paragon.
Yeah, and then it was funny when he became a sovereign. It's like, oh yeah, the sovereigns are just like normal people. They just got lucky. They were born early.
Yeah.
I was like, that is such a hoe.
That's not, bro. If I remember when I talked to you about that, and we were like, bro, I think we said it at the same time, and I was like, bro, I just had one problem, and you were like, I already know, because that thing was the worst they could. That's the worst thing they could do, bro.
But I am glad that as soon as Linley became a sovereign, he was like, "Let's go kill sovereign."
Oh yeah,
I was like, "Yes, sir!" And then they murked that Wind dude.
Oh, and that Wind guy was funny. He was like, "Oh, you guys are coming over here to fuck me up. You can't. I'm gonna just run away." So, and then he just proceeds to talk shit. He talks the most shit because he's like, "What are you guys gonna do? You guys can't do nothing to me. So what's up, bro? Like, what? You really want to start something? I'll just run away." And then Lenny gets closer. He's like, "Oh, you thought I can't kill you?" And then he just murks him, bro.
Yeah, right in front of the Chief Sovereign of Wind too. And then he was like, "We had beef. We had beef.
Yeah,
and I killed him."
Yep. And then it was funny. And then he fights the Chief Sovereign of Wind a little later, and the Chief Sovereign of Wind is like, "Hold up, I can't handle him either."
I actually love that. I love the rule of sovereigns not being able to go to other send to other continents. Because I was like, damn, Linley could really just mess some. I really thought they were gonna go kill a fire sovereign and then just run away, and then Linley would fuse. Because I was like, he had earth and water, he got the wind, but they were threatened. They were like, okay, but if you kill another sovereign, we're all gonna turn against you. I was looking at the 4 chief edicts. I was like, get out of here with that. Let Linley get that 4th sovereign spark, and y'all are done for.
And it was, bro. As soon as he got that 4th sovereign spark, that man literally went God mode.
Yep.
Like transcended the whole cosmos. That's why I was like, what is happening? And some random guy shows up.
He was like, I'm the first being in existence. I created my own cosmos, and you got to break free from. I don't know what he was in Hongmeng's cosmos, right? Oh yeah, he was.
But the guy. So no, I think he wasn't the first being in existence. I think there was the original cosmos, and he ascended from that cosmos.
No,
that's what I thought happened.
No. He was created by the Hongmeng mist, and he created his own cosmos.
But I think the cosmos that he created were Linley's cosmos. He didn't create the first cosmos.
What?
That's what I think.
No. He created the first cosmos, and Linley is from a lower cosmos.
But that was the one that he created, no?
No. So he was saying that there's like the big cosmos, right? Like people can become like exalted celestials. And I think he was saying that Linley was from like one of the lower ones. That I think there was like a certain amount of power that like can only be reached, like with the sovereigns and stuff. And he broke free due to all these like lucky circumstances, which I was like, damn, that was all luck. It's like,
oh yeah,
you could only be a 4-way soul intimate 4 elemental. If you were 5 or 3, you couldn't have done it. And then on top of that, you had to be a 4 sovereign spark and all these things. I was like,
and all sovereign sparks had to be at the same level.
Yep.
It was a long list of qualifications that literally happened because of luck.
Yep.
And I hated it.
He was like, but it was your fate. I was like, okay, sure. But yeah, he was created from Hongmeng Mist, from the Grand Mist energy. He's not. He wasn't a descender because he's the first. He's the first being because he's been around for
endless time.
Yeah, he said like something Grand Kalpas, which is
1,000 Grand Kalpas.
Yeah, which is and each Grand Kalpa is like 6 quadrillion years.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
ton of time.
So that's why I was like, he couldn't have descended from a cosmos.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
So now that I'm thinking about it, though, I don't know. So I know he didn't descend from a cosmos, but I'm thinking about it. There might have been a cosmos that was there that he didn't create, but that he's not from. I'm trying to remember.
There's only 2 cosmos. There's the original cosmos, and then the like second cosmos
that he created. Okay, so I think there was an original cosmos that's like just there, and I think then he's like from the Grand Mist, so it's like he's still above it. But then he obviously saw the original cosmos, and he told Linley, he was like, "These are all these the exalted celestials are, and all that stuff." And then he created his own in shape of that. Yeah. So he's still like the #1 supreme being, but like there's a cosmos that was like the Grand Mist created him, but I think it also created this cosmos. And then he created his own, and now he was Hongmeng from the Grand Mist banner, and then there was Linmeng from the program is spinner.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was even all these rules. I was like, oh yeah, so there's only 4 spots for the top, and everyone else is all that.
Yeah.
I was like, pretty sure Coiling Dragon, Stellar Transformation, the only 2 novels in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, is the author gonna do another one? I don't think so, because Coiling Dragon and Stellar Transformation are old.
There's a third one already. I told you.
What are you talking about?
It's called An Inch of Radiance.
Wait, that's the next one?
Yeah, he said I don't know if you read, like, after the book ends, there's like another chapter at the very end, and he talks about how Inch of Radiance is coming out, but like this was like 20. I don't even remember the year it ended, but I'm gonna say
I think it's like 2013, 2014.
that's what I thought, but I thought that was too far. So let's say 2014, and he said it would come out in the next couple of years. So it might already be done, to be honest. Inch of Radiance.
But that might have just been a new novel. I don't know if it's a new universe.
All right, that's true. I know it's a new novel, but I don't know if it's in the same universe.
I don't think it is.
We don't know. We don't know.
Because it's like Stellar Transformation is or Coiling Dragon was a prequel to Stellar Transformation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it could be a sequel to Stellar Transformation,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it is.
I have no idea.
We'll
put it in the recommendations, guys.
I'm gonna go on a short. Yeah, I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna put it in the recommendations because now I'm not gonna lie. We started reading Stellar Transformation.
Oh, I finished it.
How? How many books are there?
18.
Oh, there's only 18?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I'm closer to the end than I think.
Yeah, it was shorter than I thought.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
I just started book 11.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow, it's way shorter than I thought.
How much do you think it was?
I thought it was at least like 30-something books.
Oh.
Because I book... Whatever. We'll talk about it later. But... I'm surprised. But yeah, maybe Inch of Radiance is part of it. I'm not sure. We'll look it up. But Coiling Dragon, very good. Very, very good. Mm-hmm. Author did amazing. She or he, fire.
I think it's a he.
He? It's great.
I think the final fight with Augusta, I think both fights with Augusta where it beat the crap out of him were pretty funny.
They were really cool.
Yeah. And then the fight with Orloff where he just one-shot him, I was like, that was sick.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I didn't like was the mom only coming back at the end.
Yeah.
We didn't see any of that, but I was like, author's like, the end. I was like, damn.
Yeah, I feel like give me one more chapter.
Yeah, I was like, can we get like
a little like 100 years later?
He left it off on a happy open ending.
Yeah.
I think there was a thing, I think an author's note. Do you remember how that girl that liked him that was with so there's the girl and the brother that he saved, that he made like a city lord. Do you remember that? Remember there was the aunt that tried to kill them? You don't
blanking out. Where? Give me some more.
So there is this. It's right after he leaves the mountain from training, and he runs into this.
What mountain?
I don't remember the name. It was a beast mountain.
Okay.
Where Dylan came out of.
Oh, okay.
And he came and he ran to this group that was traveling on the road, going to.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember this girl, the water girl.
Yes, the water girl.
Mm-hmm.
They hold her.
Oh, they hold her hard
because she grew old and died alone. I was like, damn, author, because they couldn't become saints.
Yeah.
Her and her brother.
I felt so bad for that girl.
Yeah, because
she's like put everything on the line for Linley.
That's why I hated when the author did that. I was like, okay, so he did that to Alice as well.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, just let them find someone else other than Linley.
I don't think like I agree. Like if he's gonna make the lady take the choice of like she'll do everything and anything for Linley until she dies, then I think she should have been rewarded by like Linley being with her, or just don't do that, because then it just sets it up as like so sad.
Yeah, because when he married Delia, she was like, we saw her reactions the whole time he was with Delia.
Yeah,
and it was just like, damn, author, why are you holding? Yeah. She was like obviously sad and holding it in.
And she was right next to them.
Yeah,
and just has to be like,
yep,
nice.
I was just like, stop.
And like,
please.
And like, I'm not saying she can't be like that in love with Linley, but like once like you see that he who has a frozen heart picks somebody else, Like I'm not saying
like, you can stay with one wife.
Yeah, I'm not saying you go and like find somebody else right away, but like move on.
Yeah. I think there was a side note that like he revived them at the end because he obviously became the
not even an overgod. He was above the overgod.
Yeah, he became a universe creator.
Universe creator. What else did they do that was pretty cool at the end? I can't even remember. What else did he do? So they did a little something. They showed a little like endings, right? Or no? Did he not do anything with his new power?
No.
No? Never mind then. Well, any loose ends then that you can think of? I remember I was telling you about that guy at the Amethyst Mountain that they saved. That random kid on the middle of the road. I thought they'd go back and find him, but they just left him in there. He died. I didn't realize he died. I thought when he got sucked in, like he was just sucked in and he'd get rescued.
Another hoe.
He just dead.
And
just
then another hoe happened when that couple that they ran into, when Linley was
they
finally
just left him in there.
Honestly, I was like, the author, because like the Amethyst Mountain, like those guys, they eat humans.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so when Linley got to leave, he just hoed those other guys that were stuck in there.
Yeah.
They probably did.
Whatever. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Immortally stuck in a mountain.
And they were, because the way they play off, like, no one really cares too much about race. They just care about strength.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you get to go because you're strong, but these guys, I'm going to eat them later. I was like, I did not like that.
Yeah. What else? Honestly, I think they did pretty good. They did a very good job.
I liked the information. I liked the Orloff Augusta reveal a lot.
It was huge for me, bro. I didn't realize until he said it out loud.
Yeah. And when the other chief sovereigns were less like, no way, right?
Yeah.
They were so terrified because they all were terrified of Orloff because they were like, please don't make him stronger.
Yeah. And then they realized, I think they all realized once Augusta was about to die or like he just died and they were like, wow, like if like Orloff could have taken us out whenever. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they can fuse back together. I was like, what happens if they fuse? I really don't know what would have happened if they fuse. Because that's the chief of fate and light.
Yeah.
Those are like two top end like elements / like laws. Like,
yeah.
Wherever you go, like in any novel, like those kind of things are just like always top tier.
Yeah. And he was like very main character-ish, Orloff.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I feel like he knew that like the world was being pulled along like a predestined like fate, and like he could feel it, but he didn't. He was trying to figure out what it was, and like obviously it was like the Hongman guy.
He had the right theory. He was like, as long as I can break through space, I'll be free from restrictions, and he was right.
He was right.
I was like, he was there.
Like honestly, he gave me Did you ever read The Warlock of the Magus World?
No.
Oh, bro, you should. That guy is crazy cool. But I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Leyland. He gave me Leyland vibes because Leyland's like a mad scientist type guy. Bro, actually, you should really read that. Warlock of the Magus World. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Leyland.
Was that the main character?
Leyland Farlier, I think is his name.
That sounds familiar.
Bro,
I might have like read it a little bit.
It's familiar because if you ever read in the comment section, bro, they stay bringing up Warlock of the Magus World.
Yeah,
people love that book, and I finally tried it one day, and I was like, I see why. This guy is
Did
so
you finish
cool.
it?
I finished it.
Okay.
It was really cool. I think the ending was a little like, I think Wuxia World guys, they're just not great at endings, but the ending wasn't like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like. Wasn't great, but everything up to then was really, really cool. Like, cause I think it's 1,200 chapters, so it was really cool. But yeah, I enjoyed Coiling Dragon. Like, I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, we were talking about this when we both told each other that we
finished.
Yeah, we were just like, something about the pacing of the novel just kept making you want to read more.
Yeah.
No matter what, I wanted to find out what was happening. I wanted to see all the big battles. I wanted to. I just want to see the end of the story.
I wanted to read one more chapter.
Yeah, one more chapter.
Until I finished the chapter.
Yeah, and it was phenomenal. The whole thing, from Elan content to the Infernal Realm to the Netherworld to Linley being a sovereign to becoming a universe creator. Yep. The journey was great.
It was fantastic, and honestly, I couldn't stop. It was so good. I think I put so much time into it that when I finished it, I kind of went into like reading fatigue, bro. Cause I was reading for like 2 weeks every day. I was reading like 4 or 5 hours a day, like at the very least. Like if I read at work, after work I get out at 4, bro. I'd read until 9 p.m. like straight, like nothing. Like don't even get up for the bathroom, bro. Like just reading 5 hours straight, like every day for 2 weeks. Cause I was like, I can't stop. I was like actually addicted. It was so. And then after I finished, I was like, I gotta relax. Like that was a lot of reading. Like I loved every minute of it, but I can't keep reading. But yeah, that book gripped me. Gripped me. It was really good.
It was amazing.
Besides, I'm gonna say it the last time. The Sovereign Spark, bullshit. 9.7. All right. If it wasn't for that, I'd give it a 10. Honestly.
Yeah, 9.2.
9.2. Okay. It's very good. Very good, guys. This guy, great author. But with that, you wanna move on to Hell with Being a Hero?
Yes, sir. Because 100 to 150, man.
But I don't know about you. I feel like the first 100 chapters were really good, but these 50 chapters were like invested in me.
Yeah.
Like I was already semi-invested. Now I'm like fully invested. I'm like I'm reading this thing all the way.
Yeah, they accelerated the development a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Revealing more and more of. Well, I mean, it's like they're like telling you, but at the same time they're like not telling you.
And the author's
hating a little bit because I'm just like, bro.
I hate it and I love it because the author is really good at it, and it infuriates me, but it's like, all right, turn the page because I gotta find out.
So this novel is like way too much like Second Coming of Gluttony.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, to the point where it's like, I feel like the author is like, I'm gonna take the secret of the main character, the despair of the entire world, and just remake a different story. And that's exactly what the author did.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What are they hiding from this man? Who is he? They used to keep saying stuff about him.
Yep.
That you're just
they leave crumbs, bro. They leave little crumbs.
Yeah, and you're just sitting there, just like,
I want to eat one, and then I eat another, and then I eat another, and now you can't get to the bread.
So we found out this book is only 522 chapters.
Yep.
And it has side stories.
Yep.
But I'm not gonna read them because last time I read the side stories, they were trash.
I'll read them this time because while I skimmed the last ones on Second Coming of Gluttony, I was like, whatever, next.
But so when we finish like 200, we'll be like near halfway.
Yeah,
which would be nice. And I think it's translated to like 391. Like if you buy like the premium.
Yeah, I'll show world by the way.
Yeah.
Guys.
So that'll be nice. I'll probably wait a bit. I don't know. We'll see.
They're translating very fast. Since we started 2 weeks ago, they've translated like 60 chapters. That's very fast.
I don't know if that much. Was it that much?
It was. I remember it was 340 the very first time we read it. 0 to 50, it was 340.
Oh, okay.
And they're at 390. You said now?
Well, for like if you pay.
Oh, I don't know then.
I think it's only at 350.
Then maybe not. Then maybe wait a little bit. Yeah.
I might wait till it's like around 400 and reread it, and then just like
reread the whole thing.
No, not what?
Oh, okay.
I mean, like read it from 200.
Oh, okay. You said reread it, and I was like, hold up, it's a lot. Those are long chapters, bro.
Yeah, no, they are a lot.
I really like it. I can't wait for the next one. So then, honestly, I don't know what I'll do, cause depends. I feel like I have I think I'll keep reading it.
I just hope they reveal some of these secrets sooner rather than later. Because there's too many secrets going on right now.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's the main character's identity. There's his, like, family's identity. There's his guide. Then the person behind him. And then just the whole universe in general. that's
so everything.
Yes. So that's the feeling I got. Because I was just like, what is going on?
We don't know.
And clearly, this guy, his brother, he has people scared.
Oh, this man is like goated, bro.
He has like the whole world scared, bro. Like
his brother is like deified, bro. Like literally.
I'm just trying to see what. I just need to know what's going on. Like the whole time I'm reading this, I'm just like,
and
bro,
I feel like the
what
next
are you
50
doing?
chapters we're gonna find out some big things. I think so, at least.
I'm just getting sick of it. I just want to know. I just want to know so badly. I'm this close to being like, tell with being hero spoilers, bro.
No, stop it, stop it.
I was like, what is it? Who is he? Really?
No, you can't do it.
I was like, the Koreans, please put it on the forum page. The novel's done. What happened?
Don't do it, cause I know you do it too. I know you. He's done it before, guys. All right, I forgot what book it was. I think it was Solo Leveling. You did that for, was it? I think you looked up the Korean version.
It wasn't Solo Leveling. It was something else.
I remember you did it, and I was like, you dirty traitor.
It was something else, but I don't remember.
Don't do it.
But yeah, I was just like, please tell me.
We've been having some good recommendations. I gotta say, these last two were really good. We did one bad one. We don't talk about it anymore. I think this is our fifth one or fourth.
Fifth one, I think.
Fifth one?
Yeah.
We have Damn Reincarnation. That was our first.
Yeah, Destroy of Ice and Fire.
Destroy of Ice and Fire. She Who Will Not Be Named. The last one that we just did, that's not this one. It was Coiling Dragon.
Yeah.
Coiling Dragon. And then To Hell with Being a Hero. Battery exhausted.
What?
Are we going back to the black screen era? I think we got like 2 sentences left anyways. Sheesh. We've been talking, bro. No, it died again. But yeah, guys, the last out of 5 or 4 out of 5 for pretty good, really good novels. There's one in the middle there, right in the middle. Not untalkable, but other than that, these 4 have been really good.
Yeah. So we're gonna finally finish Destroy of Ice and Fire
next week. Yep.
So that'll be hype. Oh, I'm so excited,
bro.
We left off on a terrible spot.
Hot bloodedness prevail.
But I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
So hell, Destroy of Ice and Fire. Honestly, next week is gonna be insane with Destroy of Ice and Fire and To Hell with Being a Hero.
Yeah,
guys, it's gonna be good.
Because we're gonna finish the novel
and
then we'll finish the recommendation for this.
But all right, guys, that was episode 20. Back to the black screen era.
Yep. Hey, it's nearly 2 hours. Though.
Yeah, this was nearly 2 hours, and and it just died. So,
and I don't know why, because it's connected to a external power source.
But we usually don't do 2 hours, so maybe this hopefully doesn't happen again. But
we'll see.
We'll see. Hopefully not. But yeah, guys, this is episode 20. I'm honestly happy we got here, bro.
Yeah, me too.
It's been a process. I'm happy we started. Yeah. Anything else you want to add, bro?
Nope.
All right. This is Adamar.
Biggest scammer.
And this is Light Novel Fiends. Peace.
Peace out.
I did it again. I put the peace sign up, but the camera's dead, so you can't see it.